The Jedi Council had gathered in silence. The war was at its peak, and every decision could alter the fate of the galaxy. Mace Windu looked at Anakin with a firm expression, but without hostility. "We want you to observe Chancellor Palpatine," he said, breaking the silence. "There is something about him that concerns the Order." Anakin looked away, surprised and offended. "Spy on the Chancellor? He is my friend." Yoda replied, "Friend, perhaps, but shadow in his heart there is." Obi-Wan tried to soften it. "Anakin, no one but you has such close access to him. We trust you." It was the moment when the destiny of the Chosen One began to change, for he decided to follow the Council's orders, not the impulse of his emotion. In the following days, Anakin visited the Chancellor's office in Coruscant with a small device hidden in his belt. The relationship between them seemed the same, but inside, something had changed. He observed every word, every look, and every subtle suggestion that Palpatine made. The Sith, as always, believed he was in control, leading the young Jedi to the abyss. "You feel limited by the Council, don't you, my young one?" Palpatine said in a soft voice. "They fear your power." Anakin pretended to agree, remaining calm, while the recorder captured everything. Gradually, he realized that those conversations were not simple political advice, but planned manipulations. One night, Palpatine invited him for a more private conversation in the shadows of his office. "There are secrets the Jedi never told you, Anakin." The Sith's gaze was penetrating, calculated. "Secrets about the dark side of the Force, about the true nature of power." Anakin replied, maintaining serenity. "And what nature would that be?" Palpatine approached, whispering, "The ability to save those you love from death." For an instant, Anakin's heart raced, but he remembered his mission. The recording was active. "Interesting," he replied coldly. "Tell me more about it." The conversation deepened, and Palpatine revealed every detail of his philosophy. He spoke of Plagueis, the Sith Master who had defied death, and hinted at being his successor. The young Jedi feigned fascination, while his instinct screamed for him to remain firm. "You learned this from him?" he asked. Palpatine smiled. "Yes, he taught me everything. And like every master, one day he was surpassed." In that instant, the truth became clear. Anakin maintained his posture, but inside, something burned. He knew he needed proof, and now he had the most valuable of all, the Sith himself revealing his identity. The next day, Anakin reviewed the recording in silence. The Chancellor's words echoed like thunder. "I am a Sith. What you were looking for all these years was before you." The phrase sounded like revealed poison. He knew that confession would be enough to bring down the most powerful man in the Republic. However, there was fear. The fear of not being believed, of Palpatine destroying everything before he could react. Obi-Wan noticed his unease. "Anakin, are you all right?" he asked. "I need to speak with the Council," the young man replied, determined. Back at the Jedi Temple, Anakin met with Windu, Yoda, and the other masters. "I have something you need to hear." He placed the small device on the table, and the sound filled the room. Palpatine's voice echoed, clear. "I am a Sith." Silence took over the environment. Windu crossed his arms, observing. "Are you certain of this, Skywalker?" Anakin replied firmly. He confessed, "I recorded everything." Yoda slowly lowered his head. Grave mistake the Senate made, in trusting him. The decision was immediate. They needed to act, but without haste. Windu suggested that the proof be shown before everyone, in a public hearing. The Senate needs to see with their own eyes what this man is. Obi-Wan agreed. "If it's just us, he will say it's a Jedi fabrication." Anakin listened, feeling the weight of the choice he had made. For the first time, his obedience to the Council did not fill him with resentment, but with purpose. He understood that his duty was to protect, not to dominate. While the news spread discreetly among the masters, Yoda reflected. On the right path, young Skywalker is. Destiny. The Force now guides. Preparation began. The Senate would be convened for a session. Palpatine believed he was in control, not imagining that his empire of manipulations was about to crumble. What was once a seed of doubt had become a perfect trap, set by the Chosen One himself. On the eve of the hearing, Anakin walked alone through the temple. He felt the weight of the future. The words of Qui-Gon Jinn echoed in his memory, words of faith and trust. The Chosen One will bring balance to the Force. For the first time he believed it, not because someone said it, but because he was about to prove he was capable of choosing the right side. The Senate of Coruscant was packed. Politicians, generals, and Jedi occupied every seat in the Great Hall. In the center, Chancellor Palpatine, in his red robe, exuded serenity. The murmur was constant until Mace Windu stood up. Gentlemen, we are here because the Jedi Council has received alarming evidence about the true identity of the Chancellor. Palpatine raised his eyebrows, feigning surprise. Evidence? Master Windu, I hope this is not another attempt by the Jedi to seize power. Anakin entered the room, walking slowly with the device in hand. With your permission, Master Windu. He placed the recorder on the podium, and the sound began. The voices filled the environment. I am a Sith. The phrase echoed like thunder. A deadly silence took over the audience. Senators looked at each other in shock. Palpatine kept his countenance firm, but his eyes betrayed fear. This is a farce, he shouted. These recordings have been manipulated. Mace Windu was not shaken. The voice is yours, and you yourself confirm it. Anakin Skywalker was present. The young Jedi crossed his arms. It was said before me, Chancellor. And you know it is true. The tension intensified. The Senate guards looked at each other, uncertain whom they should obey. Yoda observed from a distance, silent, waiting for the Sith's reaction. Palpatine then changed his tone. The Jedi are plotting a coup. They want absolute power and are using lies to destroy me. The crowd began to divide between applause and murmurs of indignation. Bail Organa stood up. If the Chancellor is innocent, he would have no problem submitting to an investigation. Palpatine realized he was cornered. His eyes gleamed with rage. You don't understand what you're doing. Windu took a step forward. We understand very well. The war ends today. Palpatine rose, revealing a cold and dark gaze. Then so be it. The mask fell. Energy rays began to glow in his hands. You dare turn against the Sith Lord? The crowd panicked. Senators retreated. Guards fell to the ground, and chaos began. Anakin drew his blue saber. It's over, Palpatine. Everything you built is finished. The Sith launched a violent attack, hitting the podium and throwing Mace Windu against the wall. The Jedi present raised their sabers, protecting the senators. Yoda leaped onto the balcony with uncommon agility. The end, this is, for you. Palpatine responded with hatred. I am the Senate. The battle took over the hall. Lightning, sabers, and debris flew everywhere. Windu recovered, advancing again. Anakin, flank him! The young man obeyed without hesitation. The combat was intense. Palpatine dodged, defended, and counterattacked with fury. Even cornered, his power was immense. Still, Anakin fought with balance, not moved by rage, but by the clarity of duty. While the duel extended, the senators watched horrified. Padme observed from the gallery, unable to believe what she saw. The man she considered a symbol of stability now revealed himself as the destroyer of the Republic itself. Anakin, she murmured as tears flowed. He, focused, blocked each blow with precision. For the first time, fear did not control him. Mace Windu managed to strike the Sith, disarming him. The red saber fell, spinning to the center of the hall. Palpatine stumbled, but before he could react, Windu pointed the saber in his direction. "You are under arrest, in the name of the Republic." But the Sith laughed. "You cannot arrest me. I control everything." Palpatine raised his hands, launching lightning at Windu. The Master defended with his saber, but the impact was devastating. "You cannot defeat me, Jedi!" the Sith shouted. Anakin advanced, protecting Windu and redirecting the lightning with the Force. The energy ricocheted off the columns, destroying part of the hall. The power of both illuminated young Skywalker's face. "This ends now." Palpatine realized that Anakin would not yield. He tried for the last time to manipulate his mind. "Think, boy. I can save Padme. I can give you the power the Jedi denied." But Anakin replied coldly, "Power that comes from lies is not power. It is slavery." In a single movement, he advanced. The blue saber crossed the air, cutting off the Sith's head. Silence took over the Senate. The flame of lightning ceased, and Palpatine's body fell. Mace Windu observed, still breathing with difficulty. "He fulfilled the prophecy," he said, turning to the senators. "The Chosen One brought balance to the Force." Yoda approached slowly. "Yes, balance. Achieved it is." Padme ran to Anakin. "You did what was right." He lowered his saber, looking around. The senators began to rise, still dazed. The Jedi Council would be seen again as guardian of peace, not as enemy. In the following days, the recordings were displayed in all systems. Palpatine's voice, confessing to being a Sith, became a symbol of the fall of corruption. The people understood that fear had allowed the advance of darkness, and that vigilance and courage were the true path of light. Anakin was received as a hero, but refused any political title. Back at the temple, he knelt before the council. "I did not seek glory, masters. I only did what was right." Yoda replied, "Did what you should, yes. A true Jedi now you are." Obi-Wan smiled with pride. "Your master Qui-Gon would have been proud of you." The war ceased, and peace began to be restored. Without Palpatine, the clone army was deactivated, and the galaxy breathed again. Padme gave birth to Luke and Leia in safety, and Anakin swore to raise them with wisdom and balance. The weight of the past had been replaced by hope. Years later, the original recordings were preserved in the temple archives as proof that the truth and courage of a Jedi can change the destiny of all. Yoda, observing the young Padawans, commented to Windu, "Great lesson. Skywalker left. Listen to the Force. We must always." The name of Anakin Skywalker became legend, not as the fallen knight, but as the one who exposed the Sith, restored order, and brought balance. It all began with a simple choice: obey the Council and trust the Force. The fate of the galaxy changed because the Chosen One decided to listen, record, and act.